This channel is supported by Truefire.
Well, what is this all about then? It's the Truefire Summer Music Festival. What I'm going to tell you about, you can get 1 month of all access for just $1. The all access, you can dip in and out of every single course on Truefire, so that's a really great way to get some awesome courses down you.
To me, one of the most underrated pieces of gear in the guitar world is the Capo. Now, the Capo is a thing that was invented before the guitar was invented. They used to use them on, stringed instruments like 400 or 500 years ago or something like that. Anyway, I kind of looked up the history of the Capo and then instantly forgot it. But I think there's reasons that even the great pro players should have a good Capo in their arsenal. And I'm just going to explain in this video why I like to use them and how I use them, and how it's not just for playing a song in a key that you can't really play or you don't know the chords to. This video is sponsored by D'Addario. Now D'Addario, I remember getting a Capo like this for free with a bag of acoustic strings. A bag of strings? It's probably a... How do they sell strings these days? Box. Pack. And this was the first time I encountered this. And D'Addario approached me a little while back, and I already used their strings anyway and their picks, so it felt like the perfect opportunity to say yes. But yes, Capos, let's get into them. This is their normal Capo, and this is the Capo that I actually am going to be using here, which is their Pro Plus Capo. So this one's quite useful because it has an adjuster. This one's even more useful because it doesn't do that annoying thing that like most bog standard Capos do, which is like instantly make your guitar sound kind of out of tune. So what I like to do sometimes if I'm on a duo gig, so this is one of the real keys with this, is that, there are many ways that you could play a song. I think it's something simple like maybe, I don't know, let me try and think of a song here. Valerie, for example. Now this song is ordinarily in the key of E flat, right? So what are my options? If I just play it. I could play it like E flat like that. What I find when I'm playing acoustic though sometimes is that it can get quite fatiguing to be trying to play in some of these keys when you're, you know, having to maybe bar more than usual. The neck's a bit of a different shape to usual. So what I might do is just think about playing in any key. And so this is kind of like an interesting way into the cage thing as well. So Valerie. So that would be playing Valerie effectively in the key of D. Now we could go up another one, and now we'd be effectively playing Valerie in the key of C. Okay, so now we can just keep going, and now what would happen if we were like here, we could play it like we were in the key of B. Making sure. In the key of B, effectively there, in the key of A, so you can go beyond like caged. That's playing Valerie as if it was in A. We just keep going. Now, where do we get to? Like we were playing it in G. Here's like a particularly pretty key that I think. When you get up to here, you get to that sort of dreamy, like Eva Casti. Okay, and then I think one of the more obvious things that you might have done would have been to make it so we're playing like in the key of E effectively. Ah. That sounds kind of mandolin-y. So like that kind of shows in a nutshell how I kind of think of this sort of stuff. So if you were, for example, thinking, right, I want two distinct guitar parts, I used to do this all the time when I played in a folk duo. I'd look at what the other guy was doing, and if I'm playing with my buddy Jake acoustic as well, and if they're playing down here, I'll look for something like up here. Like this kind of thing, so that I'm specifically getting out of the... And to me, like every single like kind of open key that you could play in, like playing as if you're playing in D major, kind of has its own little characters, like that kind of overdone thing. If you're playing in E, well, what would that exact same? If I was playing it in G, different voicings available. If I was playing in C, what else have we got if we were playing A? To me, the capo is absolutely not a crutch. It's a way of unlocking sort of these familiar things. Like once you play guitar for long enough, like playing in the key of D, playing in the key of C, playing in the key of G, playing in the key of A, they all have like a distinct feel when you get these kind of idiomatic things that you can do within those keys. It enables that. It enables you to separate yourself from another player if you're playing in a duo, you know, to kind of bring your guitar into a different register, but still have some of these familiar kind of open sounds that can really bring out a full kind of wistful sound. It can totally change the vibe of a tune. You know, if you think of some of like the Eva Cassidy things, for example, to me those have such a dreamy, wistful feel. partly because of her voice, but also partly because she's playing in these like familiar sounding like shapes and stuff, but they're just in a completely different register of the guitar, like Fields of Gold in particular, I think stands out to me for that reason. All reasons that I think that the Capo should not be looked down upon at all. And yeah, having a Capo that will not immediately throw you out of tune, like this Pro Plus, which is what I actually rely on. I've got 2 of them. One lives in the car, and I make sure to say to whoever I'm playing with, like if I've got a duo in the day, just make sure that I remember where I've put this, because it's important to me. That is the D'Addario Pro Plus. It's, I think, not terribly more expensive than one of these. It just works fantastically well. I'll give you a bit of a close-up of it, but basically this part here is not just rubber, it's like a bit softer. And of course you've got the adjustable part, but it just seems to me that this actually, you can shift around and your guitar stays in tune way better than an ordinary Capo. Maybe I should just demonstrate that actually. Right, so here's an ordinary one. Excepting that, you know, you're going to have some amount of stuff going on. So we'll play here as if we're playing in E. You may or may not, I mean, both of these are good Capos. I mean, I certainly found on an acoustic guitar that I felt it stayed in tune better, but maybe on this particular electric guitar, certainly something adjustable is what you need though. Is it going to be more in tune here with this one? Yeah, I think that's staying more in tune there. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. How do you use a Capo? Do you use one? How many Capos have you got? What you found works for you? The ones that I think really don't work particularly well are the ones that have no adjustment at all to them. These ones work very nicely for me, the D'Addario ones. So, you know, happy to shout them out because these are what I use. Okay, so you might look at these Capos and think, how are these actually different? So this, you can see, has got this fairly solid rubbery thing, whereas this one is actually slightly softer. They call this like the flex fit thing. The idea is this will work with different radii, sorry, and also kind of is less harsh on the string because this has a bit more give to it. It seems to work for me. This is just straightforward rubber. This is Pro Plus, which has slightly more give to it. It works. They also make a tri-action Capo, which has, it's like you push it on top, and it's got like an adjustable sort of pressure thing. And I think that really is what makes a Capo work quite nicely, is these adjustable pressure parts.